12th February today. Yesterday I didn't really record a lot of video. I put up this grid thing on the wall. Okay, but today I went to the store, I bought some stuff. So I bought this leveler. I got a contractor to come and drill my concrete walls because I don't want to screw that up. So I just have to mark down the positions of the holes that I want the person to help me drill. Yeah, so I bought this leveler to make sure everything is well level. I bought this wood glue. I bought this sliding bolt that's going to be holding up the door mechanism. Yeah. I also got this liquid nails thing. I was initially thinking of how I was going to attach the mirror onto the wall. My first idea was to use hooks at the bottom and the top, and I think that's the best solution, like the best fail-proof solution. But I think it looks a bit ugly. If I choose that method, there will be a tiny gap between the actual door and the glass layer. So if I'm looking at it from the side, I can see like a slit. Yeah, so I'm planning to use this liquid nails thing. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. Other than that, I got nails of different lengths. I also got many different L brackets that I'm just using when I piece the table together. I don't really have a plan for it. I'm just going to bring it and see what makes sense to me. Today, what I think I'm going to do is that I'm going to start smaller projects like my bedside table and the mirror side table. For when it comes to my work table and my computer table, there are two different distinct tables, but they're kind of like merged together as one because they depend on each other for stability. So that's a bit of a daunting task. I think I'm going to start with something simpler.
So yeah, I really had no idea what I was doing when I started. So this is me just figuring it out as I go. This is the base of the bedside table, and I'm just marking out where I want to drill before I drill the pilot hole. And yeah, alright, I just cut to screwing on like the top surface of the bedside table. So for the bottom side, I wanted the legs to go flush down to the floor, so the bottom piece is actually shorter than the top piece, because for the top piece I wanted the wood to go across the entire surface. So looking at it from the top, it would look clean and it won't have like the two vertical boards like jutting out. So as you can see here, the bottom side, which is the one on the left, is sandwiched between the two side pieces, whereas on the other side, I flipped it around now, the top piece is like resting on top of the sides. Yep, and now I'm just screwing in the shelf.
Alright, so this is going to be my bedside table. I am quite happy with how it turned out. I'm purposely leaving this bottom space very large because I might be putting like small bags or stuff in here.
And now moving on to the mirror side table. So what I'm doing now, I'm just putting everything down, thinking about where I want the L brackets to be and how I want to arrange the legs so that it looks the best. And yep, now I'm just marking everything down, trying to find screws. Yeah, this table ended up being quite wobbly, so I had to try different methods in trying to make it more sturdy and secure. Ended up just drilling it to the side of the wardrobe, but yeah, I'm not very sure whether I recorded that. So yeah, this is just me drilling everything in. I ended up having to take it out and put it back in, and yeah, fitting it in. I tried not having these screws at the top, but when I just had these L brackets, it was super wobbly. Now it's like still kind of wobbly, but it's much better than before. So I'll try to fix these two legs. Alright, I didn't record any of this part because I was kind of stumped trying to get it to work. One thing that I didn't really think about was that ignore this crack, but like because the plywood is thinner, it doesn't line up nicely. So now this joint looks really ugly in my opinion, but there's nothing I can do about it. The legs also didn't come as I thought they would. My understanding was that these screws were actually from here, like within this 5 cm width. and there weren't any like wings at the side. And so my plan was that this leg was flush against the edge, and one piece of this 5 cm thick plywood would be enough to prop it up. But because it came with this bloody wing, I've had to put 2 pieces, and because I didn't plan for this, I don't have the correct size of wood. So now there's this like area behind. I've also added the legs for this part of the table. The legs are quite sturdy, and the joint to the black part of the table is pretty decent. As I'm working on it, my electric drill died, so I'm just letting that charge. But I think I'm just gonna start for today. Oh, wait a minute. I could have like put this here. Yeah, so I started out the day by working on the change that I discovered at the end of yesterday, which is to put this plywood beam across the front, like just to make the face look cleaner. Yeah, so I'm just thinking of where I can shift this shorter piece back to give way for the horizontal piece. Yeah, so I'm currently removing the screws that were initially what was holding up the further side of the table here. Yeah, they were just long screws that went through the wood, the black colored wood, into the like orangey natural colored wood, and that just held that part of the table up. But since I'm changing the way I'm doing like this joint, I had to take them out. Yeah, so now you can see I'm sliding this new piece of wood in and securing everything down. Yep, then after this I just clean up and just do some final changes. Alright, the time now is 12:30. I just want to fix this front facade. Yeah, so this is the solution I have like for spacing it away from the wall. There's this piece here, and then there's this jutting out bit. Anyway, there's gonna be stuff here, so it's gonna be hiding that. So I'm fine with that. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna start working on the main table. And now that I have this like a set distance from this grey wall, I can start seeing where the drill positions will be. When it comes to this corner, so this part of the table will be holding up like the hinging mechanism from the work table. And so this corner will be holding a lot of weight. And this is kind of like the shitty solution that I came up with to hold it up. So you can see there's this crisscross thing to hold it up vertically, and then this like laterally to just hold it in place. And then I added these 2 screws like to hold up the underside of this part, so it physically can't like slide down. And then I have this screw to just hold everything in place so the plywood doesn't split. Initially I had a screw going from this part, from this edge of the plywood all the way through to there. But unfortunately, because the heights are different, right, it was very hard to align the hole here and the hole here exactly. And therefore there was this like discrepancy that made the wood split. Yep, anyways. Alright, so I just secured the legs onto this end portion of the table. If I push this edge against the wall, the other edge extends out. I didn't expect the wall to be bent. When I push this in, the other side protrudes out. So I'm not very sure what I'm supposed to do now. I've decided to fix the L bracket slightly jutting out of the edge of the wood, such that it will push against the wall even though there's a gap. Yep, this is my wet solution because I can't do anything about this wall. Alright, so here I'm just adding the plywood beams under the work table. After laying everything down in the position that I want it to be, I drilled some holes and then used the wood glue to just have a layer in between the 2 wood. Honestly, I'm not very sure whether the wood glue like does anything. Anyway, I'm screwing the two pieces of wood together permanently, but I decided to just do it just in case. So yeah, I just repeated it for the other pieces by first putting the wood and then screwing in the pieces, and then reaching the last bit. So yeah, for this bit, I decided to use like some countersink drill bits as you saw there, just to make sure that the top of the screw is flush against the wood surface. And now you can see I'm drilling the holes for the sliding bolt that will attach this wood piece to the other one. Alright, I've just been marking down the positions for the drilling guy tomorrow to drill. So this is for the shelf, and I've done the same for the lighting strip thing.